Hello, everyone. I all hope you had a very, very wonderful, blessed morning and a very, very great morning indeed, guys. Just know one thing, guys. I'll be able to exactly use the same image on the same villain that I'm exactly about to talk about for those of you who exactly are watching the long videos. But for those of you who are watching shorts, I'm very grateful for your support in watching and viewing, and also for those of you exactly watching the long videos as well. Super grateful for your support in watching and viewing and subscribing to my channel. It completely means a lot to me, as in literally means a lot to me. So guys, God bless you all. As in literally God bless you all. Have a blessed holidays and a great, great holiday and a great Christmas and a great Christmas Eve and a happy New Year as well. So let's exactly begin. Yesterday was about the history of the Order of Secret. Today is about the supervillain known as Black Man, who is a founder and a leader of the Order of Secret, which he formed with the goal to control the sacred universe and the sacred world, and the sacred universe and the sacred world and the known universe and the rest of the known worlds and planets in order to wipe out the universal heroes and the intergalactic coalition and the United Hunters in the process to further his own plans and his associated plans, and to further their own plans and their own goals in the process as well. So let's exactly begin. In Black Man's early life, he was exactly founded the ancient secret society of supervillains many, many centuries ago, within the ancient centuries ago, by fighting up against the ice creature with Lord Jet by his side exactly, who exactly the two of them exactly founded their organizations and their secret societies many centuries ago, which Black Man exactly decided to name his secret society known as the Order of Secrets, and while as also Lord Jet renamed his ancient secret society known as the Order of Power as well, with the same common interests and the goals as well, but their common interests and their goals were quietly far very, very quietly different from one another. Black Man exactly became very much ambitious and very, very quietly very ambitious with his goals and missions as well. In a very much of the 18th century, he became very ambitious and very, very powerful as well. He became the subordinate of the original Lolo Magic by exactly supplying the original Lolo Magic with more knowledge and archives and secrets of immortality and death and power and any sense of abilities to unlock the secrets of immortalities and death and power and life itself, and also the secrets of shadow energy, so that the original Lolo Magic can purposely exactly able to exactly learn those secrets to become more immortal, and so he can exactly conquer death and any threat that exactly stands out in his way in a process as well. Despite that, exactly, Black Man exactly made sure that his organization and his secret society operated within full secrecy and within the shadows of the sacred world for many centuries. Over the following centuries and over the following years, the Order of Secrets has been secretly manipulating conflicts, wars, and sacred galactic wars and conflicts and darker wars for the past few centuries, even altering sacred histories, wars, and fate and futures, while the four nation hunters were at war against the original Roller Magic and against the forces of the Dark Dimension, known as the Monsters of the Dark Dimension. During at those centuries and years, Black Men exactly secretly altered half of sacred history's history by altering some of its events and carrying its events, some of its events, and many staging its events by staging and orchestrating events and wars and things that are quietly far beyond controlling in order to wipe out the Four-Nation Hunter and his main competition out of the way completely. During within those years on those years and times, the original Lolo Magic executive became quietly fond of Black Man's greatest ambition and also of his goals as well. During at that time, Black Men exactly extended invitations to certain and powerful ancient criminals and supervillains as well, who would exactly aid him with his ultimate goals and plans for them to utilize their resources for his ultimate goals and future plans to controlling the sacred world and the rest of sacred existence in a process, so that he and his associates will become the sole dominant rulers over the cosmos and over the rest of the known universe in the process as well. So let's exactly get to it. In the many in the 15th of February, after the video conference held by Black Men with the members of the Order of Secrets, the Shadow Empire warlord exactly summoned the members of the Order of Secrets in a video conference in order for him to introduce his new protege, in order for him to introduce his new protege to the members of the Order of Secrets. And Blackman was quietly, very much quietly, completely, very enlightened and very, very satisfied that the Shadow Empire warlord has managed to gain a new protege, and that this protege will gladly exactly take the operation to higher standards than ever before. On the 20th of March, Blackman exactly arbitrated an audience with the members of the Order of Secrets and also with the Shadow Empire warlord, who the Shadow Empire warlord exactly told Blackman that he's hereby exactly defecting from the organization and also from the society, leaving his mark for good. Meaning, in other words, he was about to kill the Shadow Empire, or he was about to kill his masters. But gladly, he couldn't exactly kill Blackman, as Blackman quietly anticipated that the Shadow Empire warlord might defect, exactly forcing the Shadow Empire to exactly blast a hole into the ancient temple and exactly escaping with his raids. During his escape, the Shadow Empire warlord learned that the Order of Secrets is a very highly dangerous, secretive organization and a very powerful ancient secret society that's been highly operating in full secrecy and also in the public eye of the sacred world and the rest of sacred existence. Blackman exactly knew that the threat of the Shadow Empire warlord would not cause won't be any issue to his plans or any to his goals, as he exactly able to reassure the members of the Order of Secrets that everything will be going according to schedule, the way it's meant to be. On the 29th of March, Blackman exactly entered the ancient crystal temple, where was able to exactly visit the Dark Druids, and they have the experiments and everything else. With the Dark Druids were able to tell Blackman that they discovered the source of the ancient dark spell ultimate power, and that it's quietly reaching its greatest philosophy, and that this dark energy spell ultimate power is about to exactly become more greater and more powerful than anything else that's ever exactly occurred within its entire lifetime. Blackman exactly wanted to make sure that the dark magical druids will exactly keep the ancient dark spell ultimate power quietly secretive in order for him and his associates to find a way in order to exactly use the power for their own ends and for their own goals as well, to further their own plans and their own sinister attempts in the process. And the dark druids and the dark witches and the dark faithful reassured Blackman that the operation of keeping the dark energy spell ultimate power would remain quietly secretive to them, and that their headquarters and their base of operation would remain also very secretive. And Blackman was very enlightenedly pleased and very satisfied with this, as in completely very satisfied with this. On the 15th of April, Blackman exactly entered into the intergalactic meeting, where all the other aliens and superhumans and supernaturals were all exactly attending to the Intergalactic Coalition, telling the Galaxy Council of the threats and all the forces and everything else that are quietly wreaking havoc on a larger scale than ever before. Despite that, exactly, Blackman was quietly heavily pleased that the Galaxy Council did not exactly take the Intergalactic Coalition's warnings or other warnings about the serious threats of forces of evil. He was exactly sitting from the shadows of the sacred intergalactic courtroom, and was exactly quietly relishing and smiling that the war is quietly taking a darker turn, and that it's about to take its greatest darker turn ever before than anything else has ever occurred during at that time as well. On the 10th of May, Blackman exactly was able to exactly meet up with the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches on another ancient cave, where they were able to exactly meet up in full secrecy, where the Dark Druids exactly told Blackman that the rest of the Shadow Empire is under the sole control over the Dark Order, and the current leader of the Shadow Empire is Red Bolt. Blackman exactly told the Dark Druid that he's quietly well aware that the Shadow Empire is quietly willing to go to an all-out war with the Star Empire for sole control and for sole dominance over the known universe and over the sacred universe and over humanity, which can exactly benefit them in many, many numerous ways, by disabling the operations of the Order of the 12 and the Order of the 5, by making sure that none of those organizations and any of those criminal ancient secret societies remain in power or successfully ascend to power by any means necessary, which they could exactly achieve their goals in both ways. And the Dark Druids exactly told Blackman that they should exactly use the Universal Heroes and the World Heroes and the Universal Earth Heroes as pawns to his plans, which these heroes could be very useful than try to exterminate them or rather successfully wipe them out in the process, which they could exactly help him further his goals and also his future galactic plans and his long-term plans for soul control and for soul dominance over the known universe and over the rest of sacred existence. And Blackman completely agreed with the dark magic uses that could exactly work for him and could mysteriously benefit him in numerous ways, which he decided in order to exactly reassure and exactly do a little bit of a favor to his adversary and also to his foes as well. On the 29th, on the 29th of May, Blackman exactly was teleported straight into the central headquarters of the Shadow Empire where he was able to exactly meet up with Red Bolt and exactly telling him that the operations are about to become screwed and about to be heavily become screwed and about to be heavily be destroyed by the enemy. And Red Bolt exactly told Blackman that the plan is going successfully the way it's needed to be by distracting the Intergalactic Coalition and the Four Nation Hunters once and for all will be the perfect way to wipe them out and also to dispel them from the galaxy, and by letting them stretch their resources way too thin could exactly guarantee the war will be under the whole universe will be under the sole control over the Shadow Empire and over the Dark Order. Meaning, in other words, by destroying the Star Empire, he will be able to control two universes, and by doing so, he'll be able to control other universes in the process to further his own ultimate plans and goals as well in the sinister process. Blackman exactly told Red Bull that the planning and the dangerous coup and the sinister plans and attempts will be too risky and too dangerous, and he told and warned Red Bolt never to underestimate the Intergalactic Coalition or the Universal Heroes or the United Heroes' abilities in thwarting his operations and his plans, and he exactly strategically warned him never to underestimate them at all, not even at once completely, otherwise he'll be forced to learn the hard way. Red Bolt exactly reassured Blackman that the operation will successfully take place and that everything will go according to plan the way it's intended to be without any other further interruptions or further dispute. And besides that, Red Bolt exactly told Blackman that he will exactly use these sacred heroes and these superheroes to his advantage in order to disable his enemy's operation and also his future goals and his long-term plans that could exactly benefit the Shadow Empire and also the Dark Order in the process. And Red Bolt was very completely relished and very relishes and was very satisfying, was very completely satisfied with these comment and also with these reassurance to Blackman. And Blackman was very quietly uneager to exactly see where this war and battle will exactly take place. But he exactly told Red Bolt that he's free to do as he pleases to do, and he will not exactly stand in his way of his operation and also of his plans. But despite that, he exactly warned him of the danger and of the consequences that would exactly occur from this war and from this battle as well. On the 15th of June, Blackman exactly convened with the members of the Order of Secrets in an ancient crystal temple, where he was able to tell them that the planning and operation is finally coming together, that the strategy has been quietly been in place, and that everything else can go according to plan the way it's needed to be, without any further disputes. With the Dark Order and the Shadow Empire looking at an all-out war against the Star Empire for soul dominance and for soul control over the known universe and over the rest of sacred existence, everything can finally take place. Sacred Face was quietly interested in how would their plan exactly take place when the Universal Earth Heroes and the Universal Heroes would likely sabotage their operations and their plans in a front row disc. Blackman exactly reassured the members of the Order of Secrets that the planning is to use these heroes to their advantage in order to disable the Shadow Empire and the Star Empire before they can exactly go on an all-out war for soul dominance and for soul control over the sacred universe and over the Star universe in the process. If they can disable those operations, they will be able to become the sole rulers of the cosmos, but they will never be the only ones becoming the sole ruler of the cosmos, which means, in other words, their competitors will also want the same power and the same strategic way and planning that they're also taking in, but they also as well exactly are planning it. The Dark Druid exactly told Blackman that the plan exactly can exactly indeed take place, so let it exactly take place and let exactly see where this battle and war would exactly begin taking place. If it can exactly benefit their organizations and their societies in both ways by crippling their adversaries and their opponent and their top competitors out of the game, which they can exactly benefit from both sides, they can exactly work from any other side. It's worth the risk in order to using these heroes to their advantage as a pawn in order for them to further their goals and also to further our plans and our goals for sole dominance and for sole control of the cosmos and over the rest of the sacred universe and the known universe in the process, as long as they can exactly wipe out their enemies and destroy them in the process and in the way as well, which they could benefit them in many numerous ways. And Black Man, as it was exactly quietly reassured the members of the Order of Secrets that everything will go accordingly the way it's intended to be, without any further interruptions. On the 19th of July, Black Men and the rest of the other dark group of dark magic users known as the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful, and a member of the Order of Secrets known as Black Light and Sacred Face and Shadow Arrow and Shadow Face and also Black Flower, all exactly were able to exactly meeting up on the asteroid base, but it was quietly filled, that was quietly within the middle of the planet's atmospheres, where the dark magic users exactly began creating a dark, sinister ritual where the members of the Order of Secrets secretly connected their minds and their frequency straightly to the crystal, where he was able to release a sonic vibration frequency that can exactly creating natural disasters across the other worlds and planets, which in other words could destroy them and annihilate the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans in the process. But to do so, the world heroes and the universal earth heroes and the universal founders gladly intervened in just a matter of time to save those worlds and those planets, and they fought up against the operatives and the agents of the Order of Secrets and realizes that the source of the problem was at the asteroid base, meaning the base was quietly flying above the planets, and they decided to take the battle straightly towards the enemy. Blackman was quietly, reluctantly surprised and very relieved to see the Universal Founders and the World Heroes and also the Universal Earth Heroes working together, and he decided that the members of the Order of Secrets cannot fight these sacred heroes or these superheroes at any time. The timing for them was not exactly yet now, or rather completely compulsory at this rate, which is best for them to exactly disappear and retreat and regroup their best plan. He told the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Magic users to destroy them and wipe them out completely, and the group of Dark Magic users went into battle against the sacred heroes, while the members of the Order of Secrets completely disappeared within the shadows of the asteroid base and completely vanished. When the dark magic users battle against the heroes overcome their enemies and overpowered their enemies and completely decimated them. During the decimation, the Universal Founders used their new founding abilities and power to destroy the enemy's base and operations, and clearly destroying it completely in a blast radius, and the asteroid base became destroyed within the base of the battle and was completely destroyed, and the rest of the dark magic users were ultimately taken into custody and sentenced directly to the astral prison to remain in custody for their crimes against the rest of the sacred world and against the rest of humanity and against the rest of the sacred world and against the rest of humanity and the known universe. The astral prison is designed to house super criminals and super villains and dark warlocks and druids and witches and evil supervillains and evil psychopathic supervillains and evil formation hunters, which is exactly designed for them to exactly remain in custody, as well as the sacred prison and the dark ark prison, which is also exactly designed to house these criminals and these supervillains as well, which is can also deactivate their powers and their abilities in the process as well. Despite that, exactly, the members of the Order of Secrets were able to regroup and were able to reconvene on a video conference on the 9th of August, where Black Man exactly told the members of the Order of Secrets that their planning and the successful plans and their work completely took place, and that the worst of their work can exactly begin. Meaning, in other words, Black Flower exactly told Black Men that their planning and their operation was quietly completely busted in order to distracting the sacred heroes of the sacred world and the rest of humanity, meaning it didn't exactly work. Black Men reassured the members of the Order of Secrets that their operation gladly exactly took place and it gladly exactly worked to their advantage, meaning in other words, the Shadow Empire can become disabled from the inside out, and it can be destroyed from within its own borders and world by crushing it from the source and from the inside out, which it can exactly benefit the Order of Secrets in numerous ways and also in many ways as well. On the 15th of September, on the 15th of September, Blackman was able to meet up with Lord Jet in full secrecy and was able to exactly tell Lord Jet that everything else has begun taking place and that his goals can finally exactly begin activating and taking place as well by destroying and wiping out the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans can finally be, the dream can finally become able to bear fruit within its aftermath. Lord Jet exactly told Blackman that there's been a change of plans and operations since his proteges, known as Lord Clay and Colin Bradley, have completely betrayed him and formed their own ancient secret society. Meaning, in other words, he's at war with his own proteges and with his own students, and he can't exactly be forced to be fighting all enemies on all sides. He has to deal with the threat that he's quietly facing. Meaning, in other words, the Order of Secrets will have to take the front of the operation, while the Order of Power secretly rebuilds its new shadow empire from within the shadows, and the Order of Power will continue supplying the Order of Secrets with endless resources and more compatible technology as part of their deal. And Blackman and Lord Jet gladly shook hands and remarked each other of their partnership and their associate together, meaning, in other words, the Order of Secrets and the Order of Power will forever remain as partners and also remain as well as associates as well. On the 15th of October, Blackman completely teleported to the dark planet and world to meet up with Lord Power, and he gladly exactly told Lord Power that their goals and ambition can finally begin taking place as well by taking control over the sacred world and over the rest of humanity. Meaning, in a matter of time, his sole dominance and reign will become the supreme ruling empire above the Red Empire and above the Winter Empire and above the original Shadow Empire and above the Star Empire and above the Golden Empire and above Lord Shadowjack's empire and Lord Justin's empire. Meaning, in other words, his empire will become the most powerful and the most formidable, untouchable, and indestructible empire that's able to exist for many centuries and throughout sacred history for many years and for many centuries to come. And Lord Power was completely enlightened and very pleased as he shook hands with Blackman that it's time for them to wipe out the problem and to take care of the situation once and for all. On the 19th of November, the crews of battleships and warships and armadas and battle airship fleets and war balloons headed on a mission of destruction in order to destroy the rest of the planets of the known universe and of the sacred world and of the sacred universe. And the Intergalactic Coalition was forced to intervene with the rest of the Universal Monster Heroes and the Universal Defending Heroes exactly combine their resources to depower the enemy and completely fight up against the enemy's fire forces, and they completely repelled against the enemy's fire forces and completely took down as much of the enemy's firepower and completely destroyed them and wiped them out in the process. The battle from both sides was completely enormous, as all the other enemies and evil warlords and Shadow Empire warlords and commanders were completely ultimately taken, so they're completely subdued and neutralized and taken into custody, sentenced into custody straightly to the astral prison to remain in custody for their crimes against the rest of sacred existence and against the rest of the sacred world. During the rest of the battlefield, Blackman was able to watch the battlefield during his monitors, and he was very completely surprised and very completely happy that his operations gladly took place in wiping out the Intergalactic Coalition, and that the Intergalactic Coalition has gladly managed to wipe out its enemies and completely decimate its enemies by stretching his resources completely clear as well. And he was reluctantly pleased and very grateful that Lord Power's resources and the Order of Secrets resources were able to exactly combine them together to take out and wipe out their common enemy once and for all. On the 15th of December, Lord Blackman exactly held a video conference with the members of the Order of Secrets and exactly told them the operation gladly exactly took place, meaning the Shadow Empire will be forced to retaliate against the Star Empire by creating an all-out war, meaning that this war will be the greatest victory that the Order of Secrets will successfully exactly gain control over the known universe and over the rest of sacred existence, and by controlling the Four Nation Hunters and the sacred world in a process to further their own plans and their own goals in a process as well. Sacred Face was quietly reluctant as he exactly told Blackman that they should exactly begin staging their next plan and their next goals as well in order for this sacred galactic war before it takes its place. Blackman exactly told Sacred Face and the members of the Order of Secrets that everything is going according to schedule and according to plan, the way it's intended to be, that their long-term plans will finally be able to bear fruit, and by using the Intergalactic Coalition's resources and the Universal Earth Heroes and the Universal Founders and the Universal Monster Heroes and the Universal Defending Heroes as pawns to their game, they were able to further their own plans and they lost goals in the process, meaning in other words, they were able to gain benefits, they were able to gain the benefits they were quietly able to reap, and the operation gladly exactly took place. And the members of the Order of Secrets were completely reassured by the founder and leader known as Blackman, who gladly exactly reassured them that they should keep an eye on their top goal and also on their top prize, meaning that the fallen could exactly do return anytime soon from his imprisonment in banishment from the dark dimension, and he could exactly return soon, meaning in other words the balance of power might rapidly exactly shift in a very destructive and very destructive way. There should exactly be a very high alert that the fallen could undo everything that they've quietly planned for, and for many centuries that their plans could be disrupted. And the members of the Order of Secrets were well aware that a new ancient threat will soon exactly return sooner or rather quietly later. Despite that, exactly, Blackman reassured the members of the Order of Secrets that the plan will go gladly and successfully well the way it's intended to be. On the 9th of January, Blackman exactly teleported straight to Lord Power and told them that the plan is successfully exactly taking place and that the operation can finally exactly begin taking place one way or another to further his ultimate goals and also his plans as well. Despite that, exactly, Lord Power was very completely reluctantly pleased as he remarked of his partnership to the Order of Secrets and also to Blackman's secret society that he will continue supplying the Order of Secrets with destructive, powerful, compatible technology as part of their deal and as part of their sacred alliance, which is able to keep their partnership intact and also to remain indestructible as well. Meaning, in other words, Lord Power is quietly grateful to have an associate and a partner such as Blackman, and Blackman was quietly reluctantly pleased as he shook hands with Lord Power and said to him that the Order of Secrets will forever remain as an ally to Lord Power's empire and also to his goals as well. On the 19th of January, Blackman was able to meet up with Professor War as he told Professor War that he knows that Professor War is part of an ancient secret society and that he won't exactly try to kill him. And Professor War exactly wanted to know what exactly is Blackman really up to. Blackman exactly told Professor War that all he needs are the resources of the founders so he can further his ultimate goals and his plans in the process, which couldn't exactly be too hard. And Professor War agreed in one condition, that the founders may have sole control over the remaining capital worlds, cities, planets of the sacred world, and of the rest of the known planets and worlds, and other the rest of the known planets and worlds of the sacred universe, so that the founder's control may remain indestructible and also intactable in the process as well. Despite this, Blackman was quietly eager to exactly agree to this proposition, and he gladly shook hands with Professor Wall, who is a member of another ancient secret society known as the Founders, who believe that they are destined to become the sole rulers over the known universe. Despite this, he shook hands with Professor War and told Professor War that if the deal will remain intactable and that the partnership will exactly continue, that the Order of Secrets will supply the founders with more associates, with more allies and operatives as part of their deal and as part of their new agreement. And Professor War was completely completely enlightened and very completely satisfied that the partnership with the founders and the Order of Secrets will remain intact and indestructible as well. On the 15th of February, Blackman was able to meet up with the Shadow Empire warlords on an ancient crystal temple and told them that their services have been literally required and that they should continue serving the Order of Secrets and applying it with destructive and compatible technology as part of their deal. And the Shadow Empire warlords agreed that they'll continue supplying the Order of Secrets with destructive and more powerful compatible technology as part of their deal, as long as the Order of Secrets will continue supplying them with more worlds and with more planets and more civilizations that are under their control. Despite that, exactly, Blackman exactly shook hands with the Shadow Empire warlord and remarked of their partnership and associate that the Shadow Empire or the original Shadow Empire will forever be in the service of the Order of Secrets, and so did the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders exactly said the same thing as well. But they warned Blackman that the fallen might return sooner or rather than later. Despite that, exactly, Blackman reassured reassure the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders that everything is going according to plan, and the balance of power would gladly shift in a very different cosmic way, which could benefit the Order of Secrets and as well as the Order of Power in the process to further their ultimate goals and their plans for sole dominance and for sole control over the Sacred Galactic War and over the known universe as well. Despite this, guys, Black Man is completely smart and a very powerful strategist and a tactician, very skilled in hand-to-hand combat, in swordsmanship, in shurikens, in agility, in endurance. He's completely immortal and very completely strong with super strength and super healing. He has the power and the ability of regenerative powers to regenerate himself. He's completely immortal. He has lived for many centuries. He's a subordinate of the original Lord of Magic, meaning in other words, he continued to serve the Lord of Magic with these services, providing him with endless knowledge and powers and technology and endless knowledge and powers and compatible technologies to unlock the secrets of life and death and immortality in that process. He's very intelligent and very strategic and very sharp strategist and a tactician, forming an alliances with ancient and powerful criminals in order for them to utilize their resources for his ultimate goals and for his ultimate plans. Despite this, he's very intelligent and very smart. He maintains his usual bases of operation, such as well as his central headquarters, known as his ancient crystal temple, and other bases of operation for the Order of Secrets, for the Order of Secrets to exactly operate in full secrecy and as well within the shadows, so they can exactly convene and meet and discuss their plans in order to talk about their plans and their future goals and their future plans for sole control over the sacred universe and over the sacred world and over humanity in the process. Despite this, he's very ambitious and very ruthless and very cruel in nature, skilled in swordsmanship and skilled in marksmanship and skilled in hand-to-hand combat and skilled with the blade and with the dagger, and very adaptable supervillain who has lived for many centuries and for many millennia. He's an associate of the new Lord of Magic known as Lord Jet, who is a new Lord of Magic, who is a founder and a leader of his ancient secret society known as the Order of Power. Together, they exactly formed their ancient secret societies at the exact same time of the exact same time of the ancient centuries, and they gladly decided that their ancient secret societies might need each other to exactly assist each other on their common goals. He's very incredibly intelligent and very incredibly smart and very completely cruel and ruthless. Beneath that ruthlessness, he deeply exactly cares for the rest of humanity, and he believes that he and his associates are destined to become the sole rulers of the cosmos and are willing to do whatever it takes, even to manipulating events and wars and battles and conflicts to their advantage, and by using the universal heroes and the united heroes and the intergalactic coalition as pawns in order to serve their purposes and their goals as well for sole control. The Order of Secrets' goals and plans are to create chaos, destruction, control over the sacred world and over the sacred universe and over the known planets and the known worlds and the known magical cities and planets and civilization, for them to exactly rule beneath that chaos that they've quietly completely created, and is to overthrow and remove leaders that are in control over the sacred world and over the rest of sacred existence. Those goals are quietly completely common and very grounded to each member of the Order of Secrets, and are willing to do whatever it takes to remove the Formation Hunters and the sacred leaders of the sacred world and the sacred nations of the sacred leaders of the sacred world out of power, and removing them out of power so that they can be the ones in power and in control over the sacred universe and over the sacred world and over the rest of sacred existence in a process. Into doing so, they learned the hard way to never underestimate the universal founders and the universal heroes and the universal earth heroes and the world heroes and the intergalactic coalition's abilities in their abilities in thwarting their operations and their plans, and they learned it the hard way never to underestimate them again, and he learned that to never take them lightly ever again. He even exactly willing to do so, to forming a secretive alliance with another secret society known as the Founders, who also believe that they are also the sole rulers over the cosmos, and are willing to exactly partner up with the members of the Founders known as Professor War. Black Man is very strategic and very smart and very intelligent, incredibly immortal, forming another secretive alliance with a member of the founders known as Professor War in order for Professor War to utilize his resources for the Order of Secrets and for black men to utilize the Order of Secrets resources so that the founders could complete their ultimate goals and their plans for soul domination and for soul control over the sacred universe as well. Despite this, Black Man is the founder and the leader of the Order of Secrets. He's been leading it and guiding it for many centuries, even for many millennia. And he's been leading it for many centuries and for many millennia. And despite this, he's a very powerful supervillain and a very, very great tactician and a very smart strategist and a very incredible villain, very skilled in deception and in manipulation, and also very skilled in greatly in deception and in manipulation, very incredibly smart, not meant to be underestimated. According to the Four Nation Hunter database, Black Man is one of the greatest threats that ever lived throughout the rest of sacred existence and is not meant to be completely underestimated by any adversary or foe. And he told the Universal Heroes that Black Man is not meant to be underestimated. He's one of the greatest magnificent threats throughout sacred history that ever able to live to tell the tale. And he's one of the worst of the worst, one of the most powerful villains, one of the most powerful villain ever existed throughout sacred history, and he's still the remaining threat above all other sinister threat. Despite this, he's a subordinate of the original Lord Magic, and he's now an associate of the new Lord Magic. Together, they exactly combine their resources for their ultimate goals and for their plans. And despite this, Black Man completely believes in the original Lord Magic's goals in wiping out and exterminating the supernaturals, aliens, and superhumans in the process, so that he can exactly rule the rest of the known universe and the rest of the sacred world in the process by creating a new dormant species that can exactly inhabit the rest of the known worlds and the rest of the magical civilization and the rest of humanity, so that his kind can remain the supreme species. And Black Man is willing to make sure that that dream and that goal gets to bear fruit by any means necessary. Well, guys, that's it for today's episode. I all hope you have a wonderful, blessed evening and an afternoon, a very great holiday. I'll exactly see you tomorrow on the last Wednesday, that we're able to exactly shoot the last Wednesday and also Thursday and also as well as Friday. After that, I will exactly see you on the next year. But despite that, guys, I'll exactly see you tomorrow. Have a blessed evening and an afternoon. Enjoy your holidays and have a great one. God bless you all. Take care. Bye.